Thanks to getting permission to come off from my IDF reserve for a few hours to come to the office, all I can say is, wow. Wow! Did you see the first appointments announced by the upcoming Trump administration? They are simply unbelievable. The Trump transition team has signaled a powerful, values-driven foreign policy and a commitment to an America first that includes standing strong with our greatest allies, especially the Jewish state of Israel. Let's talk about these key appointments. Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, Elise Stefanik as Ambassador to the United Nations, and Mike Waltz as National Security Advisor. Check out these clips, because they say it all. This is the upcoming Secretary of State.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not. On the contrary.
Rubio,
are you filming it?
Wait,
so I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas has stopped building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
Such a powerful truth that has been missing from the Biden-Harris administration in rhetoric and in policy since the beginning of the war. Now watch this, the upcoming National Security Advisor.
I think at this point, the only thing that is going to stop the Supreme Leader from his nuclear obsession is a very credible use and threat of military force. Look, nobody wants war, nobody wants a conflict, but this is about deterrence. And at this point, with Iran believing they are this close, remember they have to have the fissile material, but also the ballistic missiles and the ability to weaponize it. I think this is the only thing that will stop them. And what does that mean? That means a very clear statement from the commander-in-chief. We did not get that in that press conference. But it also means credibly moving forces into the region, and it, most importantly, selling the Israelis, giving the Israelis the technical, sophisticated military equipment that they've been asking for and haven't been getting from this administration.
Finally, a strong policy that can truly keep America, Israel, and the world safe from the tyrannical Islamic mullahs of Iran. And nobody can forget this unbelievable congressional hearing from Elise Stefanik.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context. That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill. So is your testimony that you will not answer yes?
If it if the speech becomes conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
Conduct meaning committing the act of genocide? The speech is not harassment? This is unacceptable, Ms. McGill. I'm going to give you one more opportunity for the world to see your answer. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's code of conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
The answer is yes. And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, targeted at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
Trump is putting together a team that understands America's strength and security are tied to the strength of Israel and American allies, and especially Israel. And at the core of this alliance is Israel, America's democratic partner in the Middle East and a critical defender of biblical values of which America is also founded upon. So with this team, President Trump is gearing up for a foreign policy that stands strong and unapologetic, and strong for Israel. What's different this time around from 2016? Well, Trump now has full control of the Republican Party apparatus. And unlike in 2020, he has both houses of Congress. This new reality empowers the upcoming Trump administration to put in place bold, game-changing policies that truly prioritize the safety, security, and prosperity of America, Israel, and American allies. We're talking about an administration that can make America stronger on the world stage while solidifying Israel's position to help protect America in ways like never before. But let's be real. The deep state, the global organizations, United Nations, World Health Organization, China, Iran, and Trump's opponents in America, the Democrats won't take this lying down. They've already tried to assassinate Trump 3 times before the elections. Think about that. 3 attempts to take out a former president, and he's still standing, thanks to God above. Right before the elections, Vice President Harris was even comparing Trump to Hitler, essentially inciting the American public to take action to stop him. I did a whole video on that incitement before the elections, and you can still watch it. If they are willing to incite and allow for assassinations, what else might the powers threatened by a President Trump try to do to derail Trump's agenda and his return to office? We might see them try to create chaos in America. They might go as far as to intentionally tank the economy or set up other roadblocks that make Trump's job impossible. Why? Because the agenda that President Trump is talking about instituting is a real threat to the establishment and all the global powers. He wants to eliminate wokeness from the American educational system. He wants to put a stop to the abuse of children with puberty blockers and unnecessarily sex-change surgeries, and bring in RFK Jr. to overhaul America's health system and truly prioritize the well-being of Americans and American children. And that's in addition to the foreign policy. This is a complete transformation of American policy, and the enemies of Trump won't go down without a fight. But here's what we need to remember. We all must stay strong and pray. Pray for President Trump. Pray for America. Pray for Israel. Pray for our holy IDF soldiers standing on the front lines of freedom and the whole freedom-loving world. Because no matter what they throw at President Trump, in a sense trying to destroy all of us, no matter how much they do to try to shake our faith or stop Trump and his agenda to help all of us, we must hold on to the belief that God above is in control. It's all God. It's not all Trump. Trump is helping God. So just as Israel, despite enduring a brutal massacre on October 7th, 2023, is now strategically positioning itself stronger than ever before, so too will we all come through this, whatever they bring at Trump, stronger, more united, and ready for the future, despite the roadblocks that they might throw up against him. So let's all stand together, trust in God above, and keep moving forward and stand strong for the Jewish state of Israel, because the best is yet to come. These are redemptive times, and we here in Israel and the Jewish people here in Israel, we're the front line, not only defending the freedom-loving world, but the front line with front seats to these redemptive times playing out before us. And again, it's not all going to be smooth. There are going to be roadblocks, and some very painful roadblocks, but the trajectory is going up. It's all positive. Am Yisrael Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to my Pulse of Israel daily, belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect videos, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And we are a donor-based organization. We rely on your donations because we're highly censored and shadow banned across all the social media platforms. We need your donations to do our work and get our videos seen, and we want to be seen by more people, so we need more donors and bigger donations to do even more work. So no matter what you're able to give us to support our work, to inspire people with the truth and give them hope for the future and strengthen their Jewish identity and their value-based identity to save their own countries, as well as provide a future, a beautiful future, where the Jewish state of Israel is on the front line of that future, help support us. And click on the donate button every once in a while on pulseofisrael.com. In the meantime, I'm going to head back to the Judean hills. I have work to do to protect, to deter our enemies from doing whatever they want to do against us. And right now, that's our fight, literally on the front line with our enemies, and we are blessed to be able to have a Jewish army once again in our sovereign homeland to be able to defend ourselves. Sometimes there are hiccups, and October 7th was horrendous, horrific hiccup that we can never, ever allow again. And that's what we're doing right now. Am Yisrael Chai. Trust God above. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.